Hey guys, so it is finals week here at UC Davis. It's an exciting time for everyone right now except seemingly me. Thanks, Friday finals. I think the majority of students had finals Monday through Wednesday or Tuesday through Thursday. So I'd be done, yay! I did not have a research paper due 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's 10 pages long and barely started, which I give you was mostly my fault. However, so it is almost time to move out of the dorms for winter break, which is kind of weird. A lot of people are excited to go home, and I am, but I think because I've been home so much and because I'm so close already and have been able to see my family, there's not that like, oh, I need to see them right now. So really what I'm excited for is to not have class so that I can binge watch Hallmark movies for the holiday season. Priorities. Actually, in reality, I have a longer to-do list over break than I did during the school quarter. What are you gonna do? Anyways, so what's interesting about the dorm is that once finals are over, you have 24 hours to get the hell out. And then they're like, hey, finals are over. You're no longer welcome here for the next month, which is a little weird. 3 days short of a month. So essentially what you have to do is if you have any holiday decorations on your door, you have to take those off. They're doing painting in my building at least, but I know everyone has to take them off for fire reasons. You have to unplug everything in your room. So you can see my roommate's wall behind me, but like we both have lights. Luckily, we both use battery-powered lights, so we don't have to unplug those, but we do have lots of fans in our room. So we have to unplug our fans. We have to unplug our microwave and refrigerator, which is a little weird because like she had to take her food out last minute, and then I have to take my food out and like do it at the last minute, like right as I'm leaving, so that I can get the food to my parents' house without it going bad. So that's gonna be a little weird. But since we don't have any access to our building for the next month, I have to make sure I don't leave anything important behind. So the majority, and I'll show you guys really quick, excuse the mess, the majority of my clothes are shoved in my closet in those lovely drawers next to my closet. Pretty jam-packed. Like, if you saw each of those hangers, most of them have 2 articles of clothing on them. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's a tank top and a button up over it, and those drawers are like shoved to the max, which means I have basically no clothes at home, because for a while I had like I didn't really want these clothes at home, but I can still wear them. And then I donated 4 boxes of clothing. Support local charity. But I donated a lot of clothing just because it's like if I don't need it here, and I've pretty much experienced all weather types, so I've pretty much brought everything other than like my formal dresses and like the special items that I didn't want here for specific reasons. I pretty much got rid of 80% of that stuff. Which I haven't actually taken to the donation place yet, but I'm like keeping it separated so I'm not tempted to like re-put it back in my drawers and everything. So I should at least have an open closet space and drawer space at home to restock everything, which is nice because when I left I was mostly taking things from boxes and a secondary closet at my house because I'm a hot mess. So that's exciting. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be able to get a Christmas tree with my family and to be able to see my dad and family I don't see all the time since I've been in school. So I'm excited for that. But it is going to be weird not to have my like really squishy bed at school anymore and just to kind of be in that environment. And that's something I kind of wanted to talk about in this video was kind of how this quarter has gone. So, quick recap. For the beginning of the quarter and up until about a week ago, I felt really disconnected from the school. I didn't really want to be here. I wasn't having a very good experience. My anxiety was really bad. And I was just feeling very discontent, I think would be the right word. But ultimately, I allowed myself, gave myself permission to change my major. Well, actually, just change from the BS to the BA, which at Davis is an AB. It's the same thing, but to the Bachelor's of Arts. And I'm starting to become a lot more comfortable with the idea of staying here and being in this major. Because for those of you who don't know, I am a cognitive science major. I was in the BS, and it has 140 something required units, which is crazy compared to any other major in my college, which is the College of Letters and Sciences. And then the AB or BA, whatever, has like 68. So plenty of room for minors, or if I wanted to double major, which I don't want to, but if someone did, they totally plausibly could with that amount of units. But I'm not. I chose two majors that I chose, two minors to add on to my major that I'm looking at starting over the next 2 quarters, so for the rest of my year, so I can apply for those as early as possible. Because if you don't know how minors work, you basically have to fulfill everything, and then right before you graduate, you apply for them, which is a little unnerving because you could just take a bunch of extra classes, not get approved, and then not have it, which kind of sucks, but you'll come out more experienced. But yeah, socially, it was a little weird. I didn't really find a group that I was comfortable with right away, and still don't really. But one thing I've kind of learned is that I was more shut off than I realized, and that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to changing, and just being more open in general, like saying hi to people. Like, I'm a very friendly person to strangers, but it's the people I see every day that I just apparently blank out. Like, I had a moment where I became friends with this girl, and she said, "Oh my god, I see you around all the time, and I've always wanted to talk to you." And I'm like, I've never seen you before. And it was a little awkward, and it was like one of those moments where you realize, like, wow, I do that, and it's a problem. So yeah, I've been trying to be more open to other people's eyes. So that's been fun. There's been some moments here that have been really special. Like the other day, I got to go to a talk that one of my professors, they were leading like this panelist convention thing at the law school for her new book that just came out, and I got to hear Phillip Zimbardo talk, which was really cool because he was one of the first like social psychologists I was exposed to, and what in the class that really made me interested in psychology even more than I already was in high school. And so it was a really great experience to get to meet him and talk to him. For anyone that's wondering, he is the psychologist that ran the Stanford prison experiment, and I had this idea that he was like this evil, feeble man. He's not. He's one of the sweetest people I think I'll ever meet and have the privilege to talk to. And he actually has, it's over there, he actually has a book out that's been out for a while, but I hadn't heard of it, called The Lucifer Effect, looking on different instances and kind of turning the Stanford prison experiment into a good thing and the different positive outcomes. He also started a nonprofit organization a few years back, focusing on how to teach heroism, everyday heroism, to children in school, which is really cool. And his current research is looking at, well, if people's environment can make them turn evil, how do we make people's environment make them turn good, or more good than they already are, or the ordinary to the extraordinary kind of thing, as far as like heroism and like being that active role in society. So I think that was a really cool spin. It's been over 40 years since the Stanford prison experiment, and it still has a bad taste in my mouth. And because it's still taught as something that's so present and so current, so you approach it as relevant in now, even though when you look back at it and you look at the human that ran it in the eye, and you have to be able to step back and say, okay, you may have changed your outlook on it in the last 45 years. So he definitely has, and he's super sweet, like I said. So that was really great, and it was one of those moments where I realized sitting there that I kind of take being here for granted. I think because I live super close to here. It's kind of like, oh, it's just Davis. Like, you drive past it on the way to San Francisco. Like, it's just there. But to a lot of people, it was a really great opportunity to get in. And I have to remember that I'm one of those people, too. and I'm just kind of coming to terms with that now. But luckily, I'm only at the end of my first quarter, and I still have 11 more quarters in my undergraduate to get it right, and to fully embrace that. So I'm quite excited about that. Other than that, it's been an okay quarter. Now that I've come out the other side, one thing I would say is that while I was in it, I was so not motivated to fight for it. Like, I was at the beginning, and I got so overwhelmed. Like, I went full force into every class and was constantly studying. I didn't talk to people. I didn't do anything. I was doing nothing artistic, which was my first mistake. Going from someone that played music and danced and choreographed like 5 hours a day just because of how my life worked out in high school, and then coming here and doing absolutely nothing artistic with my life was really, really challenging, and it's something I would not recommend. If you have art in your life so integrally in high school, keep it in some way. Join a club, join a band, do something, because, and I'll do a separate video on that, but it was a big mistake, and I'm definitely fixing it for next quarter, and I'm hoping it'll add a lot more balance and sanity to my everyday, and also just give me new opportunities to bond and socialize with different groups of people than I'm currently bonding with. So that would be my biggest tip, is if you're passionate about something in high school, figure out a way to continue it, because I guarantee you it'll feel like something's missing, and it can contribute a lot to how you're feeling, like your feelings of discontent or stress. It's important to stay balanced. I know once I started working out again and really getting into that again and making sure I was taking care of myself, it definitely made things a lot easier on an emotional and physical level. So that's what I would say about that. A lot's changed over this quarter, and I don't really know how to put it into words yet, but I will eventually. If you have questions about Davis, if you have questions about being a freshman at Davis, if you have questions about where to go eat in Davis, anything like that, put them in the comments below. If you're a freshman at Davis or any other school and want to tell me similar or dissimilar experiences that you had, also feel free to comment down below or send me a message in any way, shape, or form. And quick side note that's totally self-promoting. I started an Etsy shop recently. That's one thing that was insanely added to my plate that I would also not recommend doing your first quarter of college. I started an Etsy shop reselling vintage clothing. It's something I've always been super passionate about, and I'm really glad that I got to do it, and it actually did add some of that balance that I was talking about. So though it added a shit ton of work and was stress I did not need most of the time, I'm definitely glad I did it, and I'm looking forward to working on it more over Christmas break, or winter break, and my Christmas break. Working on it every day and really getting that started. I'm going to start making videos associated with that, and it's called Annie and Vintage Emporium. The Etsy link and my website link for that is in the description below. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. More soon than last time. Bye.